Alright, so today and tomorrow we're going to the topic on teachings and the meditations on instruction on of selflessness of self and the phenomena. So that is the main topic. First I'm going to explaining, and during these explanations, anybody, if you having questions, keep your own notes, and then you can ask during the question and answer time. That is the second part, and then the end is if there are something left the time, and then we're going to little bit short meditate on this selflessness. If there's no under anywhere, the end is the dedication prayer. However, this topic is actually very important for everybody, whether no matter you are traditional followers or non-traditional followers, and particularly no matter you are Buddhist practitioners or non-Buddhist practitioners. If you only just want to studying about the philosophical, like mentors, scientists, and then this is good for everyone. And then particularly if some of you want to practice Dharma and you want to know generally the point of view of Buddhist sense of Hinayana traditions up to of the Mahayana, and then of course this subject is more important, so this teaching we can divide into these two stages. First, we're going to speak about the selflessness of self, the person, individual. And the second stage is we will talk about the selflessness of Dharma or selflessness of phenomena. So these two, today we are going to more speak about the first stage, the selflessness of person, according to the subsequent class of Buddhist philosophy. And then tomorrow we will be talk more about the selflessness of phenomena, according to the high school class of Buddhist philosophy. So in this way, the Buddhist philosophy class in briefly we can divide into these four great schools, or we can say four great classes of Buddhist philosophy are these four: Vipassana school, Sutrantika school, Chidamata school, and Madhyamika school. So these first two, Vipassana school and Sutrantika school, is as of Hinayana tradition followers philosophical of the explanations selflessness of self and selflessness of phenomena. And then the last two school, the classes, Chidamata school and Madhyamika school, explanations, the view of selflessness of self and selfless phenomena from Mahayana tradition of Buddhist philosophy. So today we are talking about first two classes, the subsequent, the two classes. So anyway, this title or teaching mentioned you teaching and instructions on meditation. So, but the meditation means is actually has to be familiarity about your view, has to be more habituated about your understanding about the view of selflessness, of self-emptiness, and the selflessness of phenomena emptiness. So, and therefore, if you cannot yet find the point of view of emptiness of the selflessness of person, and emptiness with of selflessness of phenomena, then no make sense. Only just we say meditate about the selflessness, because you don't know how to do meditate. You don't know what is the object of the meditation of selflessness. So therefore, in this case, first we start to little bit introduce to you the view of emptiness, of selflessness of a person, the individual, and the selflessness of emptiness of a phenomena. So in this case, now, what is the point meaning of the self? Self is actually ego, ego clinging, clinging oneself and clinging others. So this self, individual self-grasping and self-grasping of Dharma or everything. And therefore, first we're going to little bit now talking about the object of the self, the phenomena, the object of self. According to these two first classes, Vipassana school and Sutratika school, we need to understand all of the phenomena, the existent things, the object and the subject both are. We can invariably division in, there's the five bases, five fundamental or five bases, which are the five. I just quote one verse from Indian Panchita Vasubandhu from Abhidharma root text. Says on Tibetan, Tso Zugdang, Tsosem Zugdang Korsem Shung, Damen Devshid Dumashibate, Nyantu Parnam Shivsha Shermandu. I quoted one verse with the 4 lines from his root text of the Abhidharma philosophical text. So that means is all I mentioned to you, the phenomena, object of knowledge could be division in these five basics or 5 fundamentals or 5 bases. So first one, from this my quotation say, Zoasem. Zoasem means is the root mind, the primary mind. That's the one internal, the mentality object of phenomena. One part of object of knowledge, which is the internally the mentality object. What is a mentality object means is a mental, the subject, which is the mind, thought, perception, consciousness. Usually we can say the mind means is consciousness, is an object of the knowledge. So consciousness usually, according to the Buddhist philosophy point of view, must be existent separately from our brain, our heart, or our physical body. That is a non-physical, non-materiality. the consciousness definition is as clarity and awareness. We said the clarity awareness is as the characteristics of mind or consciousness. If you want to know what is the main definition of consciousness, in briefly we can say the aspect of clarity and aspect of awareness. Other hand, we can say clear and knowing. Clear and knowing. So this is the clarity awareness is as the definition of our consciousness. So how we know our consciousness is as clarity awareness. This you don't need to ask to other people. You just check yourself. Look, return in, internally. Check on your experiences, by your the recognition of mind. You can feel the clarity, because we can clearly listen. You can clearly listen my teaching. I can also clearly to speak this teaching. That is the sign, the definition aspect of clarity. If we lack clarity, there's no possibilities to listening clearly and to speak clearly. So like the reflection of the form can arising on the pure glass mirror, because the glass mirror is very pure, very clean. So therefore, even the reflection of the form clearly can arising. But our mind definition aspect of the clarity is much more, thousands of times more clarity than the clear and clean than of the pure mirror. So therefore, can arising the reflection of not only the object of form, but sound, smell, taste, contact, and tactile sensations, and so forth on the mind can arising. This is the sign, the definition of clarity. Or mind is clarity. Not only clear and clarity, but the second aspect is knowing or awareness. This clarity mind have power aspect of awareness, because we can distinguish clearly which is pleasant, which is unpleasant, which is neutral equanimity, which means is attractive, the reflection object of which is attractive object, which is a non-attractive object, which is neutral equanimity. Because that's why we can sensation the experiencing pleasant feeling when the arising of the reflection object of knowledge is as attractive, pleasant, and when arising the reflection object is as a non-attractive, unpleasant, then our sensation experiencing the feeling is also as unpleasant. When arising the reflection, the object of knowledge is as not pleasant nor unpleasant. If equanimity, and then is your perception, the sensation experiencing also is neither the not pleasant feeling nor unpleasant feeling, but you can experiencing equanimity feeling, neutral feeling. So therefore, this is very clear. Everybody, by everyone, you can experiencing various different kind of aspect of the sensation, the feeling during the 24 hours. But the various different kind of the feeling, invariably, we can divide it into three: pleasant feeling, happiness, enjoyment; unpleasant feeling, suffering, sorrow, lamentation; and neutral feeling, equanimity, not pleasant, suffering, and not happiness, just equanimity. So these three feelings is clear. But now, why we can experiencing with three different kind of aspects of sensation feeling, because there's of course many different conditions, but the substantial actual power condition is as awareness, the aspect, the definition of your consciousness, awareness or knowing, because we have the power, your consciousness have with the power of knowing and the aware, for this kind of the reflection, the object of knowledge. So therefore, that's why I'm saying you don't need to ask to other people, our mind definition is as clarity and awareness or not, but you can understand clearly your mind nature quality is as a clarity and awareness. So when you feel clearly, oh, that's true, now I understand that mind consciousness means is the power of clarity and with the power of awareness. That is the point, meaning consciousness. Yes, exactly, that is the point of consciousness. So therefore you having now recognize, having you understand the consciousness, okay? The definition of consciousness. So in this consciousness now, everyone, each sentient beings, not only human being, each sentient beings can have the clarity, awareness, consciousness, but level, some is very gross level, clarity, awareness, some is middle level of clarity, awareness, some is very subtle, tiny, subtle clarity, awareness, but no matter what kind of levels, but definition is one, same, clarity, awareness. So these things we say beings, sentient beings, Buddhists would calling sentient beings. Or sometimes maybe in English also we say maybe living beings. But living being means is not only just life, but with consciousness. This life means is these living beings must be with clarity, awareness. That's living being. Without clarity, awareness, and then is maybe it's like plants, trees, flowers, maybe living things, but not living beings. So because lacking the clarity, awareness, you can still can laugh, die, but this is not living being. That is a living thing. But sentient beings are living beings, not only living things, So, so therefore, that's the consciousness definition. So, among the five bases we're talking now, so we just recognize what is the five bases of the phenomena. One is the basis of consciousness. So, what is consciousness? Clarity, awareness. Okay, that is. So this clarity, awareness, if we let it be one to division in detail, and then like human being, we have five consciousness or six consciousness. Sometimes we can say depend because 5 or 6 faculties depend to the eye faculties and then arising eye consciousness. Depend to the nose consciousness, the nose faculties and then nose consciousness. Depend to the air faculties and then air consciousness. Depend to the tongue the faculties and then tongue consciousness. Depend to the physical, the body, skin faculties and then arising the body consciousness, the consciousness of the physical, the body consciousness. And then sometimes we add the sixth consciousness, that is depend to the mental faculty. So mental consciousness we can say. So this is total 6 consciousness. We can division. Why is human being we're having these 5 or 6 consciousness? Because naturally when we born, this we will talk, but because of the just next to the second basis of the 5 is said basis of form. So this among the basis of form is the born naturally with the 5 sense source faculties. So therefore is naturally must be rely these 5 faculties depend to of very much related to the external 5 sense source object, which is form, sound, smell, taste. So therefore is this 5 the recognition, the power and awareness from these 5 sense source, the faculty, connected to. So that's we say 5 sense source consciousness or 6 sense source consciousness. And then on top, sometimes if you go to like Chitamata school, Madhyamika school and Tantra school class, and that is the another 2 consciousness, which means is alaya consciousness. Sanskrit language, alaya, means best of all consciousness. This best of all consciousness is, the aspect of best of all consciousness is because the characteristics, the imprint of our previous karma stored on the stream of the clarity awareness, the continuity clarity awareness. That is the point, definition of base of all consciousness, we can say. There's no base of all consciousness, there's no karma. You know, karma cannot exist with you. Karma cannot follow you if there's no consciousness. So karma only can follow to the person, you know, with person, with the beings. Karma cannot with of non-beings. Non-means is material things have no karma, you know. Karma cannot exist with of material. Only karma can exist with mentality, the power of awareness and power of clarity, means consciousness. So therefore, when again I'm saying the imprint of previous karma stored on the stream, the continuum of your mind, that is the aspect of best of all consciousness. That's the 7th consciousness. And then on top is sometimes the another one with the afflictive emotion consciousness, we can say. What means afflictive emotion consciousness? This actually we will talk, because the afflictive emotion consciousness is actually is the aspect of self-grasping, self-attachment, self-ego, clinging oneself, me, I, or something is co-emergent, ignorant, you know, the self-grasping. So this kind is with the imprint, the self-grasping, the imprint is stored on the of this, you know, with of this clarity, awareness. So this aspect is, that aspect is, we can say, afflicted emotion consciousness. So totally is there's eight different kind of aspect of consciousness, but it's one nature. No different, only one nature. Only different aspect, because it depends different faculty and depend different of functioning, different functioning. But it's one nature, one person, only one consciousness. It means it's one mind, you know, only one. Our mind is only one. The definition, basic is only one. The primary nature is only one. But there's aspect is depend. So therefore, there's 6 or 8 consciousness. So all these consciousness together is an object of knowledge, phenomena. Within the 5, we're talking the 5 bases of the phenomena. What is one? The basis of consciousness, or basis of mind. That's one. You or me, everyone, we have this basis, object of knowledge. And then second basis of the 5 of phenomena from the quotations. So it means is the basis of the form. Basis of form. Form means is the material, the materiality, the matter form, the form of from the form of the matter. So that's the base, the second base, object of knowledge, you know. So now this form, the basis of the form, we can divide into 2. One is causal form, cause and condition, the causal form, and one is the effect or resultant form. One is form of aspect of result, One is form to the aspect of cause. So causal form and resultant form, there's two. So now what is causal? Causal is invariably, there's a four element. Earth, water, wind, and fire. So these four elements is as the fundamental, the main causes for performing about the universe, external of the materiality, the mountains, the rivers, the trees, the flowers, the moon, the sun, the galaxies. All is the materiality. So the established of the materiality things are composed by the collection of four elements. That's why we say these four elements is, we can say, best the causal form. That's causal form. And then what is the result? Now the form of resultant form. Resultant form, again, we can understand there's two aspects. One means is it external form, the resultant of outer form, and the resultant inner form. There's two. What is the external form? The resultant form, which is the five sense source object, is as external of outer form, which is the object of form, means is from eye faculties perception, form, object of external object of sound, external object of smell, external object of contact. So these four is the on top is, sorry, there's five external, the five object, form, sound, smell, taste, and contact. The fifth one is contact, external object of form is contact. So this is form, sound, smell, taste, contact. These five is, sorry, not four. The five is external, the resultant object, outer object of the resultant. Okay, and then internal also five, the resultant form internally. What is internal? Means is with you, with your body. Internal, the five form is, the resultant form is, the means is five sense source faculties. That is the internal five resultant object of form, which is eye faculties, and a very clear form. Almost you cannot see directly, but you can, for valid cognitions, then you can understand the clear form, very clear form. But modern is the microscope. From medical science, neuroscientists, of course, they easily can see, for use of the microscope. But was there no microscope, but it's for a judgment, and they can receive these eye faculties, pure eye faculties. And then is the nose faculties, same clear form, for receiving the smell, and nose faculties have the power to receive of the smell. Air faculty have power to receive the sound. Tongue faculty have power to receive the taste. The body faculty have power to receive the contact. So this is a five sense source faculty both are very clear form. But materiality, actually material things, is a form that is not formless. It is form, but very tiny and pure. Most of pure. So therefore, it can addressing the reflection of a form, sound, smell, taste, and contact, because it's very, very pure. These five senses, the sensory faculties, very pure. That's why I have power, can addressing the reflection of five sense source object. That's we say five sense faculty. But that's the resultant internal form. So together, outer 5 resultant form and the internal 5 resultant form, and thus together is the 10 result, but together is, we can say, form of a result. This, why we say this 10 is the result, because from produced or composed by the collection of the 4 elements we mentioned before: earth, water, fire, wind. If there's no 4 element, there's no outer object and inner the faculties, no possible. If outer and inner the resultant faculty is existent, and then 100% sure is there are past of the 4 element existent. That's why there's together 4 causal form and 10 resultant form, and the gathering, that is one, the basis of the 5. We're talking the 5 basis of a phenomena. So now, which means it's the basis of form. Okay, basis of form means the materiality, material. That's the second among the 5. Now the third base. What is the third base? Secondary mind. Secondary, because the first one is primary mind. We mentioned the clarity awareness. Now, as the secondary mind means is in the Abhidharma text, their division into, and briefly there's 51 secondary mind. For example, like the feeling, the recognition of feeling, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling, equanimity feeling when you experience things. So this kind of all is deep, the aspect of a primary mind. Happiness feeling, primary mind. Unhappiness feeling, that's also primary mind. This feeling, the sensation. And sometimes you feel compassion, very love, kindness feeling. That's also primary mind. Not primary, the secondary mind. And when you're very upset, angry, jealousy, your emotion, emotionally, that is also the secondary mind, not primary mind. But the secondary mind is, why we say secondary, because that is just related from the primary, the root mind. There's no root mind, there's no consciousness, there's no anger, no attachment, no compassion, no aversion mind. That is, there's no consciousness, there's no suffering, and there's no consciousness, no happiness. Someone going happiness and suffering, and that means is you have this is best to the consciousness. So therefore, secondary mind is best on the basis of the primary mind consciousness. So therefore, secondary mind is so many different of aspect. But in briefly, Abhidharma text I mention you is there's 51 example just I mention you. So anyway, this kind is emotion, actually emotion, the secondary, any different kind of various different kind of emotions, sometimes positive emotion, sometimes a negative emotion, sometimes are experiencing the neutral emotion, but that is the secondary mind, So that's the third basis of the 5 object of knowledge. Phenomena object of knowledge is the second. Okay? And then the fourth basis of the 5, little bit complicated but not very difficult to understand. From the philosophical or Buddhist, what is the fourth basis? We say non-associating composition factors. In Tibetan, we say so the basis of a non-associating composition factor. So now what means? A little bit, we need to explain, because otherwise you may be hard to know just directly what the word meaning. So non is a negation word, yeah? Non, then is non-associating non-associating composition factor, non-associate. So non-associating or non-association, that means is not form, materiality, not mentality consciousness. Both not. Not form, materiality form, not mentality of consciousness, not. But still is existent. What it means is we say compositional factors. Still is part of compounded phenomena. Even not consciousness, not material, but still is compositional factor. That was a non-associate compositional factor. This is a compositional factors, but not consciousness and not materiality, but still even non-material, non-consciousness, but is compositional as a compounded phenomena. One part of compounded phenomena, changeable, impermanence, something existent, established. So now example, like birth, death, aging. For example, we can say, what is the definition of compounded phenomena? What are the characteristics of compounded phenomena? The definition of compounded phenomena, and briefly we can say 4 aspects. Aspect of born. Born means birth, arising, newly. The things are newly born. Aspect of remaining, or placed, continuously abiding. And if abiding, but no matter how long, remains continuously, but the end is means is continuously changing. Means is age, age. 1 year old, we say 3 years old, the age means is changing, momentarily changing. Change. That is how the remaining means is how could be remaining as change, momentarily changes age. And what happened at the end, these kind of things, since they are newly born, and then the remaining continuously, the abassing, the stages abassed, and then the end is ceasing, will be ceasing or stopping. The end is disappear. Ceasing means is explodes. Or like human beings, we can say, like sentient beings, we say died. Living things are, we can say, exhausted or disappear. So ceasing anyway, stopping. So with these 4 aspects, any kind of things with 4 connected 4 this aspect, birth means is apparent newly. That means creation stage, and then the remaining abiding stage. Third is the aging means is a disintegration stage, and then the 4th is avoidance stage or ceasing, the stage of ceasing, stopping. So this is compounded phenomena. 100%. This is the definition of compounded phenomena. Now you understand. We used to many times say compounded phenomena philosophy on the teaching, but compounded means is how we know is what means the definition of compounded phenomena with these 4 aspects, then compounded phenomena. Then the opposite, non-compounded phenomena. Without of these 4 aspects, that is non-compounded phenomena. Unchangeable, so something is that's non-compositional factors. But with of these 4, and that's the compositional factors, something that is a compounded phenomena, right? So, and this way now we understand this, the 4th brings the basis of the 5 object of knowledge is I just again say non-associating compositional factors. But still we say it is as even not consciousness, not materiality, but still is compositional factor. What means, and I mention you, newly born. Things are newly born. Things are remaining continuously, and things at disintegration, the aging, the old aging, become older and older, and the things will be ceasing, stopping, the end. So this kind example. That is just example of non-associating. This is compositional factors, but you see like birth, the creation stage, abiding stage, disintegration stage, and avoidance stage is not consciousness, not materiality, but still is object of knowledge. So therefore, that is compositional factors, but non-associating compositional factor. Okay, so this word is very important for philosophy and briefly, then you understanding how this phenomena, what we experiencing in this samsara, the phenomena. So that's the fourth. No, last one. The fifth, the basis of the five basis of the the object of knowledge, the phenomena, object of five. Is what is the last one? That is the uncompounded phenomena. The last one, the opposite of the fourth one. Fourth one is compounded phenomena, right? So the fifth one is a non-compounded phenomena. So now what means the definition of non-compounded phenomena? Means is now there's newly born. There's no newly born. Therefore, there's no remaining continuously. The things, there's no things are abiding continuously. Therefore, there's no continuously abiding the things, and there's no aging, right? No aging, no disintegration. There's no disintegrations, and there's no ceasing. There's non-stopping. It's non-ceasing. So beyond of birth, beyond of newly appearances, beyond to the abiding of the continuously, and beyond to the aging, and beyond to the ceasing. So if you can imagine on your mind something of knowledge, that knowledge is part of object of knowledge, but not consciousness, not materiality. That is even not the non-associated composition factors, not. Even beyond to the non-associated composition factors. So therefore we can say that's the uncompounded phenomena. Like example, I gave you an example. Space, empty space. Space is not newly arising, right? Space is not born, was newly. Therefore, space we cannot say is remaining abiding continuously, because was not apparent newly. So therefore, no possible is the remaining continuously. And the definition of space is no aging. We can say how old this space is beyond to the age. Space is have no age, Earth can have age, right? Millions years old, like something like this. You maybe 30 years old, 40 years. This house is maybe, 100 years old, something. But space have no age, So therefore, it's beyond to the age. So therefore, there's no disintegration stage of space. They have no damage. Therefore, there's the end of space. No ceasing. Would you think one day can stopping? One day can ceasing completely of this space? No. Was not born, So therefore, it will never ceasing. It's beyond to the stopping. So that means is the definition of uncompounded phenomena. Non-compounded or uncompounded phenomena definition. So this space is just an example. Then any something on the object of your judgment, knowledge, imaginary, something comes exception when mention you the first four bases, and then must be is uncompounded phenomena with this, without of four aspect. That is, so space is an example. Another example also we can say among the for example, four noble truth. One, noble truth of cessation, noble truth of stopping. Means is nirvana is as peace, we say, right? Completely enlightenment of achievement state of nirvana. Buddha says nirvana means is Sanskrit language, but it's peace, the ultimate peace, achievement, ultimate enjoyment state. But this definition is actually uncompounded phenomena. That's why once opportunity you achievement state nirvana, There's never ever change, reborn again with suffering, with ignorance and samsara, no possible. Because that is attainment state of Dharma sphere, the true nature, Dharma Dhatu, like more pure than space, So therefore, that is, we can say also, Ngopa, cessation, analytical cessation and non-analytical cessation. There's two aspects of cessation. Both as we can cessation. One is analytical cessation. One is non-analytical cessation. Analytical means is investigation, a judgment, with a discriminative wisdom, fond of this cessation, without of discriminating and fond of the achievement of cessation. So therefore, one is non-analytical cessation, one is analytical cessation. That's two. So when you will be enlightenment of Buddhahood, when we will be attainment nirvana, like our heart. So this cessation is analytical cessation, because analytication has to be understand, follow the logic, reasoning, learning, studying, meditate, practice. The end, your achievement state of this. So therefore, this cessation is uncompounded phenomena, but is an analytical cessation. And then non-analytical cessation means is without a judgment, without a discriminative wisdom, without learning, without studying, without purification, without training, but primordially pure nature, like space, like nirvana. Nirvana is primordially pure, aspect, natures. So that is anyway, this kind of all is the including of the fifth basis, the basis of uncompounded phenomena. So now finish these five, the basis of object of knowledge. Finish means is there no left any extra things to explanation in this samsara. On your mind. What do you see, what do you hear, what do you smell, what do you taste, what do you contact, what do you can judge, what do you can imaginary, everything's phenomena, a judgment object or the knowledge object is division into these five bases. Okay? So in briefly again I'm saying the basis of a mind, primary mind, the basis of the form, the materiality of form, the basis of secondary mind, the basis of a non-associated composition factors, and the basis of uncompounded phenomena. So these five is everything. Okay? So now why I'm talking this, introduce to you the five aggregates first. Sorry, not five aggregates, the five basis, object of knowledge, because we're talking is the main topic. This teaching is meditation, teaching, and analyze. Meditate on meditation on selflessness, right? Selflessness. So therefore, we need to know, because we used to say selflessness is true or not. This is the big questions, because everyone we have self-grasping, right? I, myself, you, yourself. That's self. But we're talking here selflessness. It's opposite, contrary about our perception, right? So therefore now we need to know first what means self. Where is self? If self is truly, because the self is two, I mentioned you, today we're talking the individual self, tomorrow we will talk of a phenomena self. Today we talk about, introduce to you the selflessness of person, individual, egoless of the individual, and tomorrow we will talk egoless of a phenomena. So anyway, now first, if you believe self is existent, right, yourself and myself, but if true, if true in case, then must be within one of these five bases. Within of these five bases. There's no possibilities, exception about these five. There's no way, right? So, because if you want to research where you are, where am I? Who is am I? Who is are you? where are you? Where am I exited? Right? Because we believe I, me, I'm very angry. Why I'm very happy. I'm very enjoy. I'm lucky. No, you are lucky. You are fortunate. But we very basically everyone that's we no need to learning. Starting meditate of self-grasping is born naturally. That's innate self, we say grasping. Co-emergent self-grasping. Self-grasping, there's two. One is imputed self, imputation self. One is innate self. But here I'm talking innate self. Okay? Innate self is not only human being, even animals. Some more insect, they can have naturally, born naturally innate self-grasping. You know, born nature of the co-emergent self-grasping. Because they can fear. When there's something problem, they run away. And when there's a safety place, and they're relaxed and sleep. You know, when they're thirsty, they're going to find water. Hungry, try to find food, even insect. Of course, human beings. That means is who hungry? I hungry. So I, me, you. That is a self, right? Self, person. So now this is normal, regularly. Everybody know. We don't need to meditate. The self is naturally with you. The self-grasping is naturally with you, I mean, you know. Self-grasping, self-clinging, ego-clinging. Myself, clinging myself, clinging others. So, this self-grasping, clinging is at the root of samsara, actually. That's it, I just quote one verse from Chantakirti, Indian Pandita, scholar, logician, the valid recognition class school master, Dharmakirti, not Chantakirti, Dharmakirti, Tambo Maji Dala Jinjirjan, Dagan the Jimula Shachibi, Sujin over no, this is another. I will quite bad. This is the Chantakirti, I want the Dharmakirti. Dayon and Shendeshi. Doesn't challenge the down. He says, Dharmakirti, Indian master, Dharmakirti Pandita, he says, if you had the very beginning at first, self-grasping, I, me, you know, if you have this self-grasping is there, clinging oneself, and then is secondarily you clinging to others. Because there's interdependently each other, self-grasping or clinging oneself, clinging to others, I and you, you know. Zen not only other beings, but other things, you know, everything. Because you have self, I, so it's you, your house, my car, my money, my job, my friend, my country, my people. You know, my world, my universe, my galaxies, finally. So it means is this all the perceptions comes from the root is self, ego, self clinging. One, I, me is the root, the center of the universe actually. Self is the creator. Kind of looks like sun as a creator of the universe actually. But not really, but it's something like this, because there's no self, there's no universe. If self is there, grasping, self-grasping is there, and the appearance of samsara of the universe for you, for everyone. So therefore, in this case, it looks sound like creator of universe is true. And not the gods, but is the grasping, is self-grasping, is clinging, self-clinging, is like for, yeah, it's us. Like anyway, that is the I and me, you know. So and then Dayon and Shendeshi. Doesn't challenge then what happened? What problem? If we grasping to self and grasping to others and grasping to each others and grasping to everything's phenomena are inherently, what problem? Problems is then further this quotation say doesn't challenge and then is self-clinging, performing attachment, negative emotion of desire, craving, attachment. very much the selfishness. And then as long as you have this self-attachment, self-grasping, and then is performed the negative emotion of aversion, anger, hatred thought, harming thought. These all performing because we cling into others, each other. So attachment is oneself and aversion, angry to other, coming, negative emotion of anger. And that is true or not? The question is, self is truly existent of yourself, and the other is existent unheartedly, truly, absolutely? No. Actually, our mind deluded already. Our mind already ignorance. But this we will talk. Why, how? So therefore, that means is the among three poison, desire, and the second poison, emotion of anger, and the ignorant misconception, misunderstanding. So these three poison emotion is the root of the delusions. Our mind deluded, but why deluded? Because obscured better of three poisons: ignorant, attachment, and aversion mind, anger. And then if our mind is deluded, obscured better of delusion, the afflictive emotion, afflicted, disturbing your mind, and then foolishly we are wandering in this samsara, the secular existence, without freedom. What means without freedom? Where you want to born, when you will be want to born, when you will be die, where you will be dead, how you to be die. No answer, no possible, because we don't know. This means is not your choice. That's only depend to the karma. Karma Sanskrit language, but literally on Tibetan lay. Lay in English is action, activity, the individual's activity. We say collective karma, collectively, and individual karma, personally, individually. So anyway, no matter collective karma or individual karma, but any situations, appearances in this samsara, good or bad, high or low, long or short, healthy or unhealthy, happy or unhappy, lucky or unlucky, all depend to the one's own action, from body, from speech, from heart. Particularly is a heart, motivation, mind, So this is a karma, this meaning. Karma means the action of person's action. It's karma. So therefore, depending to the karma, we haven't yet freedom. As long as obscured our nature is by the obscuration of contaminated karma, and then we haven't freedom. That's why we don't know when, how, where we die. When, where, how we will be born. We don't know. Only is depend our projection karma and achieving condition karma. That's what we haven't yet freedom. This is the point meaning. I'm used to say wandering. We are wandered in this samsara. Why say samsara? Samsara Sanskrit language in Tibetan korwa. Korwa literally in English circulation, cyclic existent, circulation. Circle is have no beginning, no end. Because full circle, how can you find end or how can you find the end? Begin is an end or begin that's not fully circle, So that's with the samsara is cyclic existent. So this circulation means is when sentient beings was born, beginning, and when will be exhausting the end, when will be ending of the samsara. What do you think? No begin, no end. Generally samsara have no begin, no end. That does mean cyclic existent samsara, circulation. Birth, death, and briefly. And between there's of course so many ill, sick, happy, enjoy, unhappy, sadness or satisfaction, unsatisfaction, aging, young, all so many things. What you want, you can get happy. What you want, you couldn't get suffering. What you want separate, you couldn't suffering. Or you could, and then you're happy or so on. This is extra, but birth, death, birth, death, birth, death. Again and again, samsara is like. So this is samsara, cyclic existent means is this samsara. But unfortunately, foolishly we are birth, death, means is have no freedom. Do you have freedom for death, birth? No, right? That's not our choice. We born in this family and these parents. But the karma. So therefore the death also we not our choice. How, where, when is karma. So that means foolishly we are born and foolishly we will die. But thousand times, million times, countless times, that's the nature definition of samsara. Whether we like or not, but that's the way. That's the truth, nature of samsara, So now what I'm talking today, the selflessness, self, how important. Means to focus on the nature. Do not too much attachment, the wrong view. That's the reason. Because there's no existent inherently self. Good cannot exist inherently. But we overhanding to existent inherently of self. That means deluded, that means ignorant, mistake. If self is truly existent, and then that's not ignorant, self-grasping is the right. Because self is true. But it's unreal, not true, but we still believe it's true. So that means is ignorant, mistake. So, but even mistake, if there's no problem, then fine. But it's problem. Lots of problem. Suffering of ill birth, suffering with of sickness, suffering of old aging, suffering with of death. That's just general. Or particular sufferings, thousands, it's even one single life. So therefore, it's that problem. So therefore, it's possible can soft about this problem. It could be can freedom from such of suffering of samsara. It's very, very possible. Can freedom from suffering, can freedom from of the faults of samsara, can freedom from karma. But how could we can free from suffering fully? Means not the temporary moments of freedom. Not temporary or happiness, enjoyment. I'm talking ultimate happiness, very possible. Ultimate freedom is very possible. Means is there's only the way we must be to avoid change of a contaminated action. We need to change into uncontaminated action. So contaminated karma, how could we can change? It depends your emotion, we mention you. So we need has to be change of the afflicted emotion. Mention you the three poisons, desire, anger, ignorance, the three root emotions we need to change. So no questions, the three root emotion is the negative, the emotion is possible, can stop, can change. Not easy, but it's possible. The reason, because this poisoning emotion was relying on that or depend on that or the misconception mind, mistake mind, which means the root ignorant, the samsara, the root of samsara, ignorant, misconception, mistake. What is mistake? Object. Self-grasping. I, me, attachment to. So we mistake. There's no self, but we apprehending to self. That's the mistake. No existent subjectively, inherently of person, but we apprehending to existent inherently of yourself or person. So this is a mistake, big mistake, actually. So in this case, now first we need to find the view, authentic view, found meaning of selflessness of self, emptiness. True or not? Maybe true, not true. But now you can judge, you can check, you can research, follow the logic, direct logic and direct logic, because the object of knowledge can be direct perception object of knowledge and direct object of perception knowledge. So, or self is actually is indirect, can't like, but actually no existent object, but we go to check, looks like indirect object of self, right? Because directly, you can find the self? This is today our main topic. If you go to find true fond of the self, yourself, you of course, if you find yourself, then you find me. Same. If you doesn't find yourself, you can find me. Also too. Other, you cannot find anyone. Truly, I mean truly. You know. So therefore now where is are you? You know, remaining. This is the question today. If I ask you, where are you? So how you answer me? Anybody know? Where are you?
Here.
Okay, here. Okay, show me. Show me. Here. Show me. It's a body, right? This part or whole body, right? Okay. So anyway, you see, this is saying, I'm here. You also, oh yes, true, you are there. That's not lying. You are true, I'm also true. I recognize, oh, you are there. You also, oh, you're here. It's true, but this true is not ultimately true. That is illusion, true, illusorily. Your mind deluded. So therefore, you can say in the dream, you dreaming me, and I ask you, Sam, where are you? Again, you say, I'm here. You know, on the chair, on the sofa, on the cushion, on the dream. Is lie or true? It's not lie. But then is it absolutely is true? No. Then what does it mean? True or real or unreal? Confusing, right? What he says is true. But absolutely not true. There's no you are in this cushion, in the dream. You are sleeping on the bed, but you showing me in the answer in the dream, say, I'm here on the sofa, you know, on the chair, not on the bed sleeping, right? That means it's not true. But it doesn't mean you lie. But ignorant, this means your mind already ignorant. Your mind already obscured by the delusion. So similarly, today exactly you say, you are there, I'm here. But this we are both ignorant. Why? Now we check the self. If truly existent self, I, me. Because this is the point today we're looking, because I'm saying, Buddha says selflessness of person. But we ordinarily, Buddha is one person, right? We have in this earth, only not talking samsara, even this earth we have 7 or 8 billions. Exception maybe Buddha or some other followers, but most 99% say, yes, self is true. Truly existent, I'm truly existent. Buddha says, no, self is selflessness. Then who is true? You think it's maybe it's a high number, it must be true. No, ignorant can be, most people is ignorant actually. That's the problem, samsara, ordinary beings. Very rare, very knowledgeable, you know, so the realization, true nature, you know, primordial wisdom, mind achievement state, selflessness, self, emptiness, and recognition, selflessness phenomena are very rare. That's only one Buddha, two Buddha, three Buddha. We're talking of Bodhisattvas, Arya beings, noble beings, supreme beings, achievement, accomplished master beings. It's not so many, right? Among these, we have 8 or 7 billions. Maybe 1% can have their understanding, the selflessness self. The rest, 99% is not easy, right? So this means we are how wandering in samsara, very foolishly, the sign, you know. So in this case, now, when 99% is they don't agree, selflessness, okay, then we check, no research. We can discuss, debate. I instead to Buddha Shakyamuni, debatation for you, because he says selflessness. I a little bit understand because I was learned, I studied and judge check his analysis, his talk a little bit. I get conviction, certainty. Sound is for me also is makes sense. Selflessness, so can be just like messenger of Buddhas. So, and therefore now, if self is existent inherently, then must be within of these 5 bases. We mentioned you already 5 bases. Individually, of this any one of 5 bases, or both of all, is self. This is the question. There's no way it's possibility to searching self. If self truly existent, then the first you see consciousness is self. Self is as consciousness, the mind mentioned before, the basis of the mind, first one. Or you think the self is the form, because mentioned you before, I'm here, means is your body is here. That means is the form. Form also not fully, but it's a causal form and resultant form, but you showing me the resultant form actually directly, because it's the 5 faculties. That's the aggregate of form, your body is there. So you show me, say you are there. This is you or your body? This is my question, you see. This is you or your body? So how you answer?
Body is here.
No idea, right? Or your body, is it?
Body is here.
Your body or you? This is you or your body?
I'm aware of the body.
Oh yeah, you were, right?
Yes.
You were a body. Okay, so where are you now? That's the question. Because you exactly you said you are aware, the body. Body is the object of awareness, right?
Yes.
And then the subject of the is who aware, from where? That is you see naturally somewhere else I, because you say I am aware the body is a me. It means it's, object and subject. Yourself is like you feel as naturally comes, the sound is subject and your body is object. Looks like because you are aware about your body is as you. But that means is a contradiction, because the sum of you and you are aware some of body, the object, another. And self-analysis, that's me, that's ignorant, you see, cannot, as a contradiction directly coming, these 3 words, these contradictions coming from there, contradictory. I aware my body is as me, then see contradiction between these 3 words. So, if body is as you cannot aware, body is as yours, cannot. This finger you cannot touch, it's up. This can touch to other finger, possible. But it's up you cannot touch. You can touch? Knife, very sharp knife, the blade. Can cut everything others, but Isab cannot cut. Even sharp, very sharp, the knife can cut apples, fingers, everything, but cannot cutting itself. So similar, if the self is your body is a self, you cannot recognize, you cannot aware. This is as you. You yourself cannot. So that is other things then you can aware. That you say, I aware. This body is mine. Mine, that's fine. You can say me, that is wrong. It's contradictory. If you say, but I recognize, I aware, but this body is mine, that's fine. It's yours. But still we need to go into searching, where are you? You found your body, but we couldn't find you, right? So therefore, as body is not you. If body is you, and then is this, 5 limbs, 2 arms, 2 legs, and head. Which one you? Left is you, and the right is whom? Again you, that's 2 people. And the right, left legs as you or yours. If not you, and who? Whom? And if you, and that's 4 people. And the head is you or not? Yours as you, and then 5. And the 5th, and the 5 people. So your body becomes 5 people, not 1 person. That is the problem, logic. Because you yourself is only one single person. That's our normal, ordinary perception. So therefore now finally when you go to research from the body, and the body 5 limbs and 5 people, that's contradictory, not possible. Even some people without leg, arms, but still I is there, right? This is the telling arms, legs as not you. Because without arms, without legs, and still can live. Some people, right? And you see many there. But still they have same strong self-grasping is same you and me. No difference. Even the without the head was this in Tibet story is they see one person without a head, live. When hungry, and then there's like the bumping in there. And that is when a full stomach and close from the throat to the pipe is just, slightly. And then opening, and then they look at something. Put like today, some is a very surgery and the problem stomach, and they use the pipes in the nostrils, right, through the food. Something like this without a head. That's one story in Tibet was happened. Not born naturally without a head, but get unpleasant pandemic disease and the lost head. That's very unbelievable. This telling without brain, without consciousness, also telling us, So this person have no eye consciousness, no air consciousness, no tongue consciousness, no nose consciousness, but have body consciousness and mental consciousness. So means is that's his body, but not he or she. So therefore body not you, as yours, but not you. Among the five bases, if possible. Then maybe you feel as the consciousness must be me. Mind, the basis of mind, consciousness. No, again. Because I mentioned five consciousness. Each of these consciousness as you, or one of these five consciousness? This is the question. How you answer? Yes, now it's difficult, right? You say one, and then it's others whose, only one. Or all of five of consciousness, and then it's five people, not only one person. Because I is consciousness of you, one of air consciousness of you, so on, that means it's not one, it's five people become contradictory. Then maybe finally you say, no, these five, but the mental consciousness is me. Must be, the main, primary, the mind of consciousness, like the base of all consciousness. Because you believe, maybe some of you believe reincarnation, I born from past life. I will be born immediate next rebirth. I means is now, not this body from past life, right? So this body not reborn next life. Clear. So that means is body is not you, but consciousness is coming from past life. So karma follow you. We're talking, right, usually. And then is it next rebirth, the good or bad, depending on karma follow you. Means is karma, I mentioned already, basis on the consciousness. So looks like consciousness continuity from past life, present, future. Must be, if among the five aggregates, one is person and the use must be consciousness is the person. That make more sense, right? Other is not make sense. Physically we born from parents, very clear. Our bodies, system is the composite four element. Flesh element from earth, blood element from water, mainly I'm saying, of course, conditioning each other. The temperature of body is from fire, the breathing circulation is from wind. But the clarity, awareness, consciousness is not from parents. So therefore from past life. This clarity, awareness, continuity will be born next rebirth. Physically exploded into atoms, but mentally not. So therefore must be, if I or you is existent, truly established, truly, and then must be among these five aggregates or the the basis. Consciousness, the basis of consciousness must be, right? But still, consciousness is, mental consciousness is, which one? Afflicted emotion consciousness? Alaya consciousness? Maybe you say alaya consciousness is the basic, or maybe afflicted consciousness because self-grasping is there. Anyway, no matter, alaya consciousness or base of the afflicted emotion consciousness, but consciousness clarity, awareness, nature is momentarily change. Do you believe your mind nature is clarity, awareness, momentarily change? Very clear. Easily we can say, morning time you are very happy, enjoy, but afternoon you are very upset, angry. This telling us because our mind is a momentarily change. If mind definition is not change, happy, always happy. Angry, always must be angry if no change, but not true. We have always mixture, sometimes comfortable, sometimes uncomfortable, sometimes satisfaction, sometimes unsatisfaction, sometimes upset, sometimes calm down, every day, every week, every month, every year. So it means momentarily change. So momentarily changing and then self, I or me, if you believe and then says, oh, karma was created my past life. I created my good or bad karma in previous life. And then I experiencing the result in this life. And this life I created positive and negative karma and then will be result experiencing in next life. That means we believe as life is naturally is one person coming from past life, remaining in now and going in next place in one person. And this person is permanent. Looks like naturally you feel permanent. But permanent and one single one is contradictory, The momentary change of continuity, how can be is permanent, it's impermanence. Mind is impermanence. Mind is a collection of hundreds, thousands, millions of the bodiless moments. So therefore it doesn't you are become millions of people if the momentary is if you not true. So therefore usually also easy we say my aggregates, my consciousness, right? My thought, my consciousness, not say me consciousness, right? I consciousness. I don't think you say I consciousness, me consciousness, or my consciousness is more comfortable to use this word, right? My consciousness. Oh, my feeling, my consciousness, my thought, your thought, your consciousness is easy, yeah? You consciousness, or consciousness you is not make sense, isn't it? That means is. Now among consciousness, that's not you, that's not, and the form is not you. And then mention you the secondary mind is cannot you, of course. Mention you secondary, like happy feeling, unhappy feeling, compassionate feeling, uncompassionate feeling. This all is secondary mind is not you. That's your perception. That's your feeling. That's your emotion, but not you. Very clear. We don't need to detail now. You understand the key point. You get it. So that's not. And then the non-associated composition factor. That's not you, of course. Birth is not you. Death is not you. The aspect of the aging is not you. The aspect of remains not you. That's not you. Clear, right? So therefore, non-associated composition factor cannot be you. No, only left one. If possible, what is one? Uncompounded phenomena, we mentioned before, right? The basis, the fifth basis of object knowledge is uncompounded. Uncompounded phenomena means space. Example is you. The rabbit horn is you. Rabbit horn. Non-existent, right? Cannot. So finally, exactly it's become like said, it's like rabbit horn. We lost. Among these possibilities of five bases, we cannot find, but logically, that is not from tradition's talk. We never ever think about that's a religious speech. No, really, that's scientist. Speak scientific way. We judge, check, research, valid cognition. Follow the logic, perfect reasoning, analyze, investigating like this way. Mentally. Scientist is the like materiality, they're judging material. So therefore they're hard to judge consciousness because beyond to the microscope and beyond to the telescope. Karma, reincarnation, consciousness, this kind of all is beyond to the of a telescope and microscope. So in moments they have no chance no fortunate to judge, scientists. Therefore, they doesn't much touch there because they don't know how to touch. But Buddhist science, not only physically, materiality science only, but mentality science, very rich. So therefore, can touch, can judge, can check research of mentally, both external materiality and internal mentality, both can judge, So therefore, is mentally how to judge like this way. Follow the valid cognition to form the self. There's no. So we cannot form the self. Finally. So that means is selflessness of person. Ultimately, I mean, but don't worry. But conventionally, yes, existent self. But conventionally, we are born in samsara. But conventionally, we are, created karma, contaminated karma. So therefore, conventionally, we reincarnated, reborn next life, so on. But conventionally, you can do marriage, make children with partner. But conventionally, you can do work. But conventionally, you can collect the money. But conventionally, you can become rich if you are good business. But also, but conventionally, if you are not good management, and then cannot reach, even want. But everything is good or bad situation, but conventionally. But ultimately, no business there. Okay, no possible. But ultimately, no karma even. Because karma created a better person. But there's no self, no person. Then how can karma? There's no person, So as long as you believe is person of yourself inherently, and then is you can creating of karma, contaminated karma. As long as we creation karma, and then is the result of the fault of samsara is with us, So, and therefore is the selflessness of person means is like this way, research, check, judge, and debate again, and look, check. Finally, you feel least 70%, 80% is selflessness is more makes sense than of self-grasping. Finally, that means you start to getting the conviction, the certainty of selflessness, emptiness of person is starting coming to you. Understanding is coming from hearing wisdom and from the wisdom of contemplation, that are judgment. So when you get the conviction, born the conviction, the certainty, emptiness, or selflessness of person, when you understand, and then has to be experiencing about your understanding. Walking time, talking time, sitting time, sleeping time, meditation time, non-meditation time, no matter, any times you need to keep this understanding. Better power of your mindfulness, and better power. You need to protect this understanding, better protection of the awareness, power of awareness, and power of alertness. So keep this. So this means is, as the meditation. Meditation on this view. What you get at the conviction. More clear conviction and more easy meditate. Less the conviction and the less, focus on the of meditation, selflessness. So therefore, first we need to understanding clearly. Understand is the opposite of ignorant. Misunderstanding, the opposite of misunderstanding. Because we mentioned you, misunderstanding or ignorant misconception is the root of delusion, right? So therefore, know what is the antidote of misconception, misunderstanding. Opposite, contrary, has to be understanding. How to be understanding? You follow perfect logic, perfect reasoning, and use your excellent investigations, analyze, has to be understanding. When understanding comes, the wisdom, discriminated wisdom is coming. And then is training your mind on this wisdom, and then will be finally is not only experiencing, and then it will be achievement state of realization true nature, selflessness of person. But doesn't mean you will be disappeared. Still you can go in working, with your family and with this samsara. But you have freedom, faults of samsara, you freedom, suffering of samsara. This example, those achievement, accomplishment of Mahasiddhis from India, from Tibet, during these 100 years, 1,000 years, how many achievement, accomplishment, masters, yogis, yoginis are. Totally, it looks like it's freedom from of a temporary, what ordinary suffering in this samsara. Even they're getting aged, ill, sick, dead, but it's not like us, painfulness, not like us suffering. Have you seen some very achievement, accomplished master when going sick, aging and cry? 99% I'm sure is no. If in case, but there's some other reason, I don't think. They cry because they're sick, because cry, worry about death. But ordinary, 99% is cry when the problem, especially are approaching to the death comes and losing everything, so then scared, fear and worry, panic and disappointed, regret, very much anxiety, so on, So that means is freedom, means is if you understanding, experiencing comes and then you are less suffering of the samsara. If you too much grasping, ego, clinging, self-attachment, selfishness, and then too much suffering. Even is ordinary, both are ordinary, but the level is different. Some too much selfishness, too much attachment. This person too much difficult. The area, wherever go, uncomfortable. Whatever something do, uncomfortable. With whom, no matter, is uncomfortable. It's unsatisfaction, always. And some is a little bit less, attachment, and more is a responsibility to each other, something opening mind, heart, soft, compassion, love, kindness, still doesn't mean achievement, selflessness, but less, self-grasping, strong. And that this person more easy, wherever, whatever happened, they have more to face, challenging of this samsara is more easy. That means is the proofs, so some achievement of the realization, general of the selflessness of self is then more comfortable for them. Doesn't mean to disappear. And then completely attainment state realization, true nature of selflessness self. That means the path of seeing, achievement. That means arhat, hirayana, arhat or solitary realization, and bodhisattva, actual bodhisattva of first bhumi to 10th bhumi bodhisattva. There are freedom from ignorant, no mistake of self-grasping, therefore is no delusion, therefore is there no contaminated karma, their freedom from a contaminated karma. Therefore, their freedom, the fully repentant result experiencing suffering of samsara. So that's the benefit, So later understanding, later benefit. More understanding, more experiencing of selflessness, and more comfortable, fully understand, fully realization, and fully free of the faults. That's very clear. So that's why we're talking about this subject, selflessness of self. Even from the Vivasika school and Sudhanataka school, the sub-school class, Buddhist philosophy, very clear. They found the view, selflessness of person. Of course, and then high schools, their selflessness of phenomena, not only person. But this we will talk, as a further coming. But anyway, we stop here.